So our producer and good friend Leah Henry from 93.9 WKYS and 92Q in Baltimore is back with us to serve up some more hot topics and to continue this discussion.
Yeah, we're combining Let's Talk Live with a little Leah's Lemonade. We're going to call this Let's Sip with Leah Henry.
Yes.
I like it. I mean, your reaction, yeah, you've done that about 6 to 8 times during that package, and I think that's kind of a normal reaction for people watching this story.
I mean, here's the thing, though. So I've been on the radio, I've been in the control room this entire time up until we got the leaked reports that this was possibly a hoax, and I defended Jussie. So I have gone on every platform possible and said, why would he make this up?
Right.
So now that this is coming out and the evidence is like pouring out and every day something is different, I struggle with this so much because $100,000 an episode and you're dissatisfied. I mean, maybe he knows what Taraji and Terrence make.
But Taraji and Terrence have been in the business a lot longer. They've been movie stars, not just TV stars.
Absolutely.
Movie stars.
But $100,000 isn't
not
a bad.
chump
I
change.
mean,
Lord.
I'll do
For
one
a supporting
episode.
cast member. So he went back to work yesterday. What do you imagine that was like on the set?
So according to TMZ and other outlets, basically a lot of people are upset about the entire incident. So they're saying that Jussie Smollett maintained his innocence the whole time. He apologized for not answering phone calls, and he said he's telling the truth. Here's the thing. Empire has about 2 episodes left on this season. So they have not been renewed for another season, and people think this whole hoax is going to jeopardize not only the show coming on next season, but it's going to jeopardize the legitimacy of the whole show if he's not fired immediately. So some people want him fired or him to quit like right now. They don't, want this to be a continuing thing.
It's really tough at this point, I feel like, because yes, as you're saying, evidence is pouring out and pouring out against him. But the American thing is innocent until proven guilty. He hasn't been proven guilty yet, so it's tough for like Empire to be like, we're going to cut ties and get rid of him when he hasn't been, proven guilty yet. Yeah, it's a tough situation for a lot of people, I feel like.
And a lot of people on the cast are really upset about the fact that they vouched for him when this first came out. So 2 weeks ago, Taraji P. Henson was in D.C. for the What Men Want premiere. I covered for the YBF, and I asked her, listen, people, and this was before we had even heard, it was just people kind of speculating, and I was like, Taraji, what are your thoughts? I think we have the clip, so we can go to that. Empire family is extremely close, and I know there was a tragedy that happened to Jussie last week. Can you talk to me about how you feel about the whole entire incident, and how do you feel about people questioning the authenticity of the entire incident?
Well, I mean, that's people gonna do that. They always gonna question, but when you know your truth, you walk in that. That's what he has, is truth. Jussie's very resilient. Anybody that knows Jussie, anybody that's followed Jussie, knows his heart. Knows that he's a man of truth. He's a man of justice. He's a man for all. So that's what he walks in, and he's going to rise above this because he has love in his heart, and love always wins.
So I can understand why she and others would take offense to this because, like, you've put yourself out there, you're standing by him. Terrence Howard did the same thing.
Yeah, GMA, yeah.
But again, this is now weeks ago, so now we don't know.
Oh
what
yeah, and I'm sure nobody's going to say anything at this point because you're cutting your foot off if you do. Like
when Taraji, sees stuff like that, she just must cringe.
Probably cringe.
Yes, and it's so tough. And you were talking about, you guys know someone that's friends with him, and it must be so tough for his friends, for his inner circle and his family that are like, this is not the guy that we know.
This is not my brother.
Isn't the,
I mean, listen,
so many.
I'm just going to tell you and be 100% honest because this is my perspective. Jussie Smollett just pushed back the black and the homosexual experience by years by doing this. Because listen, let's talk about the one black kid who goes to the all-white school where people are avid Trump supporters, and let's say he really does get bullied. When he goes home or it goes to their local news outlet and says, listen, my son was told this, this is MAGA country, they're gonna, was it a Jussie Smollett?
Yeah.
That's going to be questioned instantly. And the police chief said that yesterday. He said, now everybody's going to look at these hate crimes and question the authenticity. And it just makes us upset because we were rooting, we were batting for this. When you say something like this in the climate in the country that we live in right now, this is not a game to be played. Like, why would Jussie Smollett do that?
Have there been any sources that have come out speaking, I guess, on his behalf, because we know he's not speaking right now, as to pushing back all of these allegations? Like, for example, how do you, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're a lawyer, how do you defend, okay, there's a check for $3,500?
Well,
a check, by the way. He wrote a check.
Yeah,
yes,
he did write,
but he also on that memo line said training. But here's the thing. It would look suspect if Jussie Smollett dropped $50,000 in these brothers' account. I think that would prove more so than anything that he did it. But they said he was working with him for personal training. Now we know due to the police, he was actually supplying them drugs. So I think the defense is going to say, he was on drugs, he wasn't in his right mind, the Hollywood lifestyle got to him, and this is what happened.
Can he bounce back?
Can his family as well bounce back? That's the question I think we're all waiting for.
I mean, like urban radio, like we said, 93.9 and 92.3 up in Baltimore. Have you guys taken calls? Can he survive this?
I mean,
will anybody hire him again? Will you support him as a fan and want to see him in movies and concerts and TV shows?
It's interesting because we've actually got like mixed response. I have some people like, we don't know the whole truth. We don't know. He's literally innocent until proven guilty. Sure. We have some people who are like, this was all a plot. He's guilty. Why would he do this? So it's very mixed. I think people are still mixed, but I think as the facts come out, more people are like reluctant to even say anything because it's like, we don't know. This proved literally from the beginning, we didn't know the truth.
Man.
All right, you can sip some tea with Leah again this afternoon with Quicksilver on 93.9 WKYS, and of course up in Baltimore on 92Q. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. This is some hot stuff.
I mean, it's pouring out.
I know.
Yeah, it's sigh-worthy for sure. It's like, what is going on? But coming up here is what's going on Let's Talk Live. Hollywood's biggest night heads to ABC this Sunday. We got a preview of the Academy Awards and who could be taking home some Oscars.
I love it. Okay, plus as we celebrate Fun Friday, comedian Ralph Harris is joining us for some laughs. Uh-oh.
Also, wait, grab a glass. It's National Margarita Day.
There we go.
And we are whipping up some delicious recipes to indulge in the day.
And then we'll really spill the tea.
Come on.
Stay connected with us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Jessup_Riceback with me at the Julie Wright and with Leah
At Leah Henry.
All right, more of LTL coming up next.